How are you? Welcome along to the Russia and Shaban show, minus the Russia because she is playing for Ireland tonight, but didn't play. Good to have you with me. Please like, please subscribe before you go any further. Hope you've had a good night so far and hope you've enjoyed the games. Let's dissect them just briefly. I know I wanted to do a watch along tonight, but it couldn't happen because I couldn't actually get access to the Ireland game. Oh, jeez, sorry. So here we are, but I've been across it as much as possible. It's nearly full time there. Let's focus on Wembley first, shall we? Perhaps not the result England would have wanted, even though it's the early stages of the competition. This is a solid group, such a tough group for Euro qualifiers. The group of death, indeed. And England started a different side to what I thought they would start with. You know, no Leah on the pitch, no Rachel Daly, no Beth Mead. But Alessia Russo puts them in front to make it 1-0. Fridolina Rolfo, who's one of my favourite players, seeing her live is like, oh, she's just absolutely outstanding. Managed to level it out. And Stina Blackstenius, of course, Arsenal's Stina, had a big chance for Sweden late on in the game just before she went off. But didn't score. So it could have been a very different story for Sweden tonight. But England, I think, ever so slightly will be disappointed with that result because you look at the Euros, say, last time round, the 4-0 win against Sweden. That was the Alessia Russo backheel, wasn't it? Was that game? Tonight, Wembley, if you were there, please put in the comments what the atmosphere was like. It seemed quiet enough. It didn't seem as pumping as it would usually be. And I expected more because it's two massive sides. You know, it's second ranked in the world against sixth ranked in the world with Sweden. And both very, very strong sides. Lauren James is just such an all-round great player, and we speak about her all the time here, but that assist to Alessia Russo was sensational. Really spotting the right moments to just make sure she leaves her mark. And great to see Russo, you know, score, find the back of the net. She's done that so many times for England and look positive. And did you see, you know, the first kind of few minutes of the game where she sat down on the pitch and they cut her sock off and she must have had a decent gash on her leg to have that much blood. I'd have been airlifted out of there with a wound like that. But either way, it's interesting when it comes to the group and the standings, because for now it looks like Ireland will be bottom of the group because they're currently losing 1-0 to France. Of course, the Met Stadium tonight in France. So hopefully that can turn around in the next couple of minutes and perhaps it will help the cause, because getting through this group will be tough. The only thing is the top two will qualify. The bottom two will be guaranteed a playoff spot to qualify for the Euros. So for that, you can only keep, you know, your fingers crossed that if Ireland are to go through that playoff route, which could be likely, they will have an opportunity to get to the Euros. I mean, it absolutely must happen. It must happen. To qualify for back-to-back major tournaments will be no mean feat for Ireland to do. I've kind of gone past England because I've got so much in my head. Like I say, the squad depth that Serena Wiegmann has is just, you don't need me to tell you, second to none. It's unbelievable. You look at that bench, you think, oh, wow, you know, Leah Williamson not starting tonight. I thought that was an absolute, for sure, front runner going to happen. Beth Mead also, I think, is somebody who's just such a high impact player. She's so confident in front of goal. Those 1v1 situations, you always think Beth's going to do something. I wonder if that'll change come Tuesday. I wonder if Serena Wiegmann will make those changes come Tuesday. Grace Clinton started again tonight. She looks like she's enjoying herself. Fair play to her. Young talent, works hard, plays with a smile on her face. She is looking like the future of that England squad. But as it ended at Wembley, 1-1. Okay, so let's go to France then and what happened there. Fair play to Anna Patton. Patsy, as she's known, what a lovely girl. What a good girl she is. Funny story, I always thought she was called Patsy because she sounded like, you know, Patsy, the, you know, hello, darling, Patsy. Ab Fab. I always thought that's why they called her Patsy, because she sounds a bit like her. And then I realised it was because her name's Anna Patten. Anyway, cool story to tell you more later. And I actually told Patsy this story once, and she was like, I have no idea what Ab Fab is. And I was like, okay, ask your mama. Aoife Mannion back into the side too. She started, as did Emily Murphy. It was Grace Chioro who got the goal for France. No surprise there. By the way, France are outstanding. Ranked third in the world, but they're playing some lovely football. And I've heard that Hervé Renard is an unbelievable coach. Now, you won't hear that from every player about their manager, but I've heard through a source that one of his top performing players sees him as the best coach she's ever had in her life. And the way they played tonight was wonderful. They're such a good team to watch, and a team full of stars too. Le Sommer is an excellent player. Cascarino, Caracciui, all of them, just Kenza Dali, unbelievable players. Excuse me, I've just come up here and seem to have gotten a wee cold coming on. But just not to be for Ireland. It was a very defensive set side. Five centre-backs on the pitch to start the game, which was quite an interesting approach. And I wonder if this will be the approach now from Eileen Gleeson moving forward to go into Euro qualification. Obviously, they're aware that France were maybe going to dominate the possession and dominate the ball. But for Ireland, not many chances. And really kind of fighting for it. So not to be for Ireland tonight. However, 1-0 ain't too bad at all, is it? I mean, France had a big chance in the second half. And there were some changes also to that Ireland side. Megan Campbell coming on for Emily Murphy at halftime. Great to see Megan Campbell back, because that throw-in is such a threat. It's just unbelievable. And I think utilising that skill, keeping her fit and available to do that, is just brilliant when it comes to the opportunity of getting a goal. We've seen it happen in the WSL. We've seen it happen for Ireland before. So good to see Megan Campbell back. Amber Barrett came on, bless her, burst into an absolute sprint against Caracciui, and ended up coming off a moment later. So subbed on, ended up coming off. She looks like she's done maybe something wrong there with a bit of damage. Also, Heather Payne came off with an injury too. And Lucy Quinn was the player who came on for Amber Barrett. Good to see Lucy getting on. We're nearly there. We're still in stoppage time for France against Ireland. They must have a minute or so left to go. No Ruru. I cried. I've been crying all night. But I saw her sitting there on the bench and part of the squad. That's good. That's positive. And fingers crossed, come Tuesday, it's just going to be a different situation, a totally different story for Ireland. Reason being, I mean, at the Aviva, their second game at the Aviva against England. I mean, it's a rivalry, a strong, solid rivalry. There's so many player rivalries, and I guess there too in terms of the teams in the WSL and in the Championship. So I'm really excited to that game, and it could be the opportunity for Ireland in front of the home fans to steal a point or three perhaps from England. Maybe I'm being overly positive there on that, or overthinking it, but England are a great side. I think it'll be a change side come Tuesday. But I do think Ireland have that spirit, don't they? And I think, it could be a different game for them on Tuesday. And like we say, 1-0 ain't too shabby at all. So looking at the standings, France will be at the top of the table as it stands. And Sweden and England in second and third. And then Ireland on fourth on 0 points. Just waiting for it to go full time here. You can let me know what you've thought of the games too. What did you make of England tonight? Do you think you would want to see Leah Williamson start? Do you want to see Rachel Daly start more? I mean, I know we're seeing a kind of changing of the guard ever so slightly. And Beth Mead also too. Again, even Chloe Kelly came on as a sub. Did Chloe come on as a sub tonight? I can barely even remember anymore. Such a strong side. I mean, you can't fault them really, but it's games like that, especially when they know the damage they've done to them before. I think England would be expecting to win. For Ireland, not to be tonight. It's ended now, 1-0 to France. And I just hope one thing that has happened and that Russia just honours my request, and that is to get me Hervé Renard's number. Please like, please subscribe, leave your comments, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on Tuesday for a watch along of Ireland against England. Very much so looking forward to that. Bye. Have a good night. Bye.